I have a question for you.
Hey, I'm the accountant.
I have a question for you. I have a question.
As an accountant or as
No, just regular. There's no reference to you getting cut all this shit out. Okay. Starting now.
Oh, okay.
I have a question.
As an accountant?
Oh my God, I'll kill you. Over. Podcast over.
I want to know if you're asking me in my capacity as an autistic accountant or...
Oh, do they ever... it's all coming together for me now.
That's the twist. Oh, sorry. Spoiler.
Oh my God.
No, I don't know.
No, that's probably apparent.
The reason we're talking about this is because you're watching The Accountant literally as we do this.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't focus just on the podcast. I have to also be watching The Accountant at the same time, which is a normal thing.
Because we're in the realm of magical surrealism. Who better than Ben Affleck to, truly transport me into a world of pure whimsy. This is my favorite review of Now You See Me Too. Okay? And I quote, I watched this movie on my third day in the psych ward. It was the first day they changed the channel of TV from CNN to something else. In that context, this is easily one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Oh, perfect. And now this is my second favorite review of this movie. No fucking way! No way! No way!
Was that how it sounded as you read it in your head? Yeah.
I can't believe this film. I can't believe this film. You know what?
Is this still the review or is this you talking?
No, this is review over. After no fucking way.
No
review
fucking
over.
Way.
No fucking way.
No way.
I cannot believe. Look, all the internet was like, "Oh, we're so clever. We're gonna call the second part now. If the first part's called Now You See Me, the second part should have been called Now You Don't. Haha, we're gonna do."
Yeah,
no.
Every second comment on any message board is like, it should have been called Now You Don't.
It should be called Now You Don't. Everybody dunked on it. Listen up, idiots. If they called it Now You Don't, we would not get a third film.
Exactly.
That would end the promise of cinema to us mortals.
Yeah. And what person... Okay, I said previously, because I just edited that podcast today, where I was very angry about that movie.
Yeah.
I said... I went on a brief rant where I said, why the fuck would they make 3 of these films?
Yeah.
Now, doing a little homework, I realized why. Both movies cost $75 million and $90 million respectively.
Mm-hmm.
And they both made over $300 million worldwide.
You know what? It's the Fast and Furious of magic, baby.
We said that last time. So the third movie coming out, it will come out long after this episode is out.
Yeah.
I have a trivia question about it, though.
Okay,
do you
hit
know
me.
who's directing it?
David Copperfield.
I'll give you a clue.
No.
It's a favorite of ours.
Ridley Scott?
No.
Just kidding. Spielberg? How'd they get him?
No. By favorite, I mean a favorite of the people we've covered on the pod.
This is a long list, so cut to it. Tell me. Give me.
Ruben Fleischer.
Fucking of course, man.
My boy Ruben.
Fucking of course, dude.
He was like, I just want to work with Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
So that shouldn't surprise me. Wernick and whatever the fuck who wrote Deadpool are also the writers. Isla Fisher is returning. I thought she...
Oh, okay.
I thought she had the reason she doesn't appear in Now You See Me 2 is because she came to her senses from whatever concussion she was suffering from and realized these movies are horrible. But she was pregnant.
She took a pause from a couple $100 million, and now she's like, I would like it back.
Well, she took a reasonable pause to be like, I got a baby.
That's fair. That's fair.
She left of her own volition, replaced by Lizzie Kaplan, and will be back. Both of them will be back in Now You See Me 3. Now You Don't.
So, look, the real mistake is not calling the second movie Now To See Me. So that the next one can be called Now You 3 Me.
I disagree.
All right.
Respectfully.
We're not taking comments, questions, and concerns. I just know fucking Lizzie Kaplan showed up on set when Isla Fisher was gone. She's like, they gave her a script with dialogue, and she just lit it on magical fire and was like, I'm the improv queen, bitch. And she just fucking says whatever.
She's like,
in this
I'm El
movie,
Caps.
dude.
You ever heard of me? Fuck you. I
Watch
John
the
M.
magic,
Chu,
boys.
I don't listen to your shit.
No.
And then she popped off. And honestly, she breathed a little bit of life into this film, which otherwise is interminable. But I will say this. I actually, on rewatch of this movie, despite a couple of scenes which we'll talk about, I like this movie more.
Wow.
I want to explain why. I'm going to explain why. Well, John M. Chu, you know how much I love Crazy Rich Asians. You know how excited I was for Wicked. He's a better director. John M. Chu is just a better director than Louis Leterrier. Or at least he has a better vision for this movie than Louis Leterrier. But what I like about this movie is that the last movie is like so confident that they're going to blow your mind with magic, with fake magic. And this movie is like, we're stupid.
I think that's why I hated this movie more.
Oh, okay. Because see, like
I hated this one.
This is what I think what I was trying to explain with the last movie was they're just like, we are going to blow your mind because you, as the audience, are idiots. And this movie is like, no, we're all stupid for doing this. We've all resigned ourselves to being
but
dumbasses.
I hate that they quit trying, and it was just so goofy, dude. It became so much sillier.
They certainly are like we're trying to raise the bar. Like,
technically, with technical skill,
and they were trying to like even in the previous movie, there were moments where characters were doing magic you could believe. That's not completely altered by the craft of filming.
Totally,
this one is like they're always constantly doing impossible things.
Well,
and you're just kind of like, all right.
Yeah. You bring in more British people and it's like, well, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be extra magic. Like, first of all, I just want to take a pause and say in a positive way that this movie is anti-insurance companies and anti fucking FBI, and this movie's ACAB and
anti-tech as well,
and anti-tech, and it is the people's franchise. Okay,
it is.
So
it's about giving back to the people.
Yeah. But I also want to say that Woody Harrelson should go to prison for playing his own twin. Jail sentence for what a fucking look. True Detective. The crime is right here. This is the crime.
Like the way that in the first movie he just seemed like he was like, well, a couple mil isn't gonna kill me, and he just seemed like so not. Like they were probably like, all right, so Woody, we're gonna ask you, could you learn how to shuffle cards? He's like, I don't do that. And he's like, what? He's like, okay, what about like you could learn how to? He's like, I don't learn how to do stuff. I don't learn how to do stuff for film. And they're just like, okay, you're a mentalist. You just talk to people. He's like, oh, thank you. That's my thing.
But also, wait, there's two of you. He's like, sign.
No, and that's the first movie. And then in the second movie, for some reason, he was like, I think to reinvigorate my interest in this franchise, you need to introduce myself to myself.
You know what I think it is? I think Woody Harrelson cannot walk away from a goofy-ass wig, bro.
I mean, we've talked about it before, yes.
Every time a movie's like, Woody, you want to say something smart? He's like, fuck that, no. Woody, you want to wear a crazy wig?
Yeah.
Immediate yes.
It's so strange. I mean, I know he's an actor, but like how game he is for like, he's like, wow, this role seems low quality and insane. And it's like, sign me up. Yeah. Like, I'll do it. And it's like, and like the thing is, like, Woody Harrelson has been in so many incredible films, like, and played so many incredible roles. And then he's done some stuff where you're just like, what are you doing?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, like why did you accept this haircut?
I think it's like I personally like when rich people or like actors and like really like already accomplished actors go down a silly route where they're like, look, I have infinite money. Now I just want to be a silly goose.
Can you give me an example of that? That's not Woody Harrelson.
Like even Daniel Radcliffe, man. He was like, oh, you're going to typecast me as little magic boy? Fuck you. I'm going to be naked on stage.
Yeah, Radcliffe is game for a lot of things. Also, like he was when he was in the fake movie in Trainwreck where he's walking the dogs.
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and like he's in that.
up.
Even when he was a kid, when he was in Extras, And you're just kind of like, yeah, he's like really,
he's a little freak.
he's a little
I love
freaky
it.
goof,
Yeah.
but he also can afford to be, and so can Woody Harrelson, frankly.
I think that's what Woody Harrelson maybe is trying to do, is that, look, I've done prestige TV and I've done like serious films, and if Matthew McConaughey can go down that route,
Yeah,
so can
I just don't know if I like any of the ones that Woody does.
of course,
you know,
of course.
Like, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Bradley Cooper, but Bradley Cooper does serious silly shit. Like, he'll do like, oh, I want to wear a fake nose.
but Bradley Cooper went from being like a comedy guy to being like a serious guy.
Yeah,
And then in like a meta sense, I think the Leonard Bernstein thing is like funny because you're just like, he's got that silly fake nose, and
but it's a serious film,
and they're gonna win an Academy Award.
Yeah.
And also like I think I really liked that movie, and I thought Bradley Cooper was incredible in it.
Mhm.
But like when you could watch some of those scenes in isolation, and they're just silly. Like
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, his voice and the thing he's affecting, and
Yeah.
you're just kind of like what's that line? The like, who left Snoopy in the whatever, like that, like, you know, who left Snoopy in the vestibule, like that kind of thing.
I don't even remember, but that sounds like exactly what it would be in the film.
Yeah, but it is like,
oh my god,
it is silly in isolation, even though that movie is like about a closeted gay man whose wife dies of cancer. But yay, you know what? We're laughing.
Yeah, it got me chuckling. I mean, oh god, like even speaking of like how movies make you, okay. Here's something I read online. Remember that scene in The Dark Knight when the Joker says, "How about a magic trick?" And then, you know, he slams the dude's face down on a pencil.
Classic.
Watching this movie is like being that man.
Yes.
You're that. I felt like him.
Yeah.
Pencil in the eye repeatedly. Look, the first movie, I'm all for it. It ruled. The second movie made me want to die.
That's so funny.
But the third one might go to space.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Fast and the Furious did it.
They might do fucking Fast
but like
and Furious.
it's so funny that we flipped on this, but it's not like I don't like this movie as much as you like the first one. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I respect art.
I hate the first one, as we talked about, and this one I have just mild disdain for.
Well, this one I feel like cheated me because they wrote me in with like, look, it's gonna be Silly Goose time, but we're gonna take it seriously, and now they're all just in on the idiocy.
Yeah,
it's making fun of me a little bit, and I feel bad.
I think the actual crime of this movie, when I think about it, is like, one thing that is so striking about the first movie is just like how fascinating I find it as an object of art.
Yeah.
Because I dislike it so much.
Yeah.
Which I have talked about. Like, I might sound like a cynic, but that's rare for me. Like, I usually, a lot of movies, even bad ones, even Kraven the Hunter, I could find something I liked about it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And like, but then the second one is like, it's boring. It's, when you think of it, you're just like, it's so unmemorable when you think back on it. And the first one is more memorable, I think.
I can't think of like a standout scene. I think the card scene in this movie.
In the second one?
In the first one. I can't think of a standout scene in the first movie.
I think there's better singular scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, not better, but more interesting. Whereas like Now You See Me Too is just kind of like
gimmick.
Yeah, and it is a little bit, like you said, the getting hit with a pencil. It is a little bit like, okay, let me just see how they succeed. Like,
yeah, man.
You know ultimately not what's going to happen, the character of it, but you know the nature of it, where you're just going to be like, yeah, like, how do they win? You know, even when they're doing their like London shit, and then Mark Ruffalo is like, oh, we gotta abort, and you gotta come here now. We gotta go to the blah blah blah, and you're just kind of like, this is all just part of the game.
Yeah,
like
everything is, yeah.
Like, if you've seen the first one, you're just like, this is all just part of the trick. Like, I know that already. And this movie doesn't do anything, because the first one is like, ultimately everything is as part of the gag, and this movie is like, we're doing the same thing. Everything is just part of the trick, ultimately.
Oh my
and
God,
you're
but
like
everything. It's relentless.
Yeah.
It's like lowest of stakes.
Yeah. Can I draw an interesting comparison, or a contrast rather? Like, in Ocean's 11, they pull off this heist in a very interesting, fun, and clever way, and they show you how they do it. And one thing that's so great about Ocean's 12 is that they're like, did you like that? We're not going to do anything like that. Like we're totally just going to fuck with you. And it's going to be like, it's not going to be a great movie, but it's going to be a movie full of like really great scenes. But it's like, if you wanted Ocean's 11, fuck you, basically.
Yeah. Because Ocean's 11 brings the audience along on the tricks and deception.
Yeah.
And the way they solve it every step of the way.
And Ocean's 12 is like, we're not actually a heist film.
Tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. We're no longer heisting at all. And this movie is like, let's just ring it back. Roll it back into itself. And that makes it very boring. It's especially like, we're talking like we've watched both these movies within the last week too, so it's a little bit like, but if you were 3 years in between and you were a huge fan of them, I guess you would be like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted.
Jesse Eisenberg made it rain upwards.
Oh my God, dude.
I would have cried.
Yeah.
Up until he was like, oh, it's actually a rainwater machine.
Yeah. Which I set up without anyone noticing.
Like, we all know it's a machine. We know you're not controlling the weather for reals. But I wanted you to. A little bit part of me was like, maybe magic is real.
It's like I said something that really frustrates me about the first movie, and this movie just like does away with it in any regard. It's like, in reality, magic is pretty amazing. Like, what magicians do is pretty cool, and the tricks and the blah blah, all that stuff is very cool. I mean, not cool in the traditional sense, but it's
not cool in the way that you get laid. And
not cool. Like it will make people like you or anything, or want to be around you. But it's like it's a skill. It's a talent and a skill and an art form that I find very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And in the film, they're just kind of like, well, it's a movie, so you can't believe anything anyway. And then in this movie, it's like everything is like a special effect. Even the fucking the creme de la creme of crap scenes on Earth, the card passing scene.
My God.
Is like there's those shots of the card like going through their sleeves and stuff, and you're just like, just shoot me. Like this, I want to die watching this. It's so bad. Yeah.
All I want is for one time to be a fly on the wall in that room when that scene is happening.
Yeah. Just
to have a third perspective of like, so is everybody just within eye line of each other? Anyway, I know that's not the point. They're all just like, oh, we're good. Deception, because we're all so in like well-oiled machine. We just pass the card to each other and nobody but us knows.
They also like do.
When did they rehearse it?
They're all that, and also like those people, the four horsemen. It's like they're behaving so weirdly, like and these security guards and this guy who is ultimately in on it. None of them are like, why are these people so fucking weird? Like, what is
God.
Like? The thing is, I don't even recall how they got in the vault in the first place, just to be like, hey, nice computer, this is really cool. We just wanted to look at it and be like, hey, this is a cool computer.
I think it's because of their connection to some rich guy or something, right?
Right.
Well,
yeah,
Daniel Radcliffe.
I don't fucking remember. But like, they all just act like total. They act like schizophrenics.
Yeah.
And no one is like, this is really strange. Yeah.
And I know we pontificated about this, but like, why don't you just put it in the guard's pocket and pickpocket him later? Instead of doing a 20-minute elaborate, like, oh, it's in the back of my hand. Now it's in the front of my hand. Switcheroo.
And
put it in his pocket. Let him walk out of here.
Also, like, so when at the beginning of the film, when like, like this movie makes it very transparent and like, I get that it's part of movie making, but when you watch a lot of films, like you see this stuff happening. And I want to give an example. Yesterday we saw Bring Her Back, right? Which was good. I like that movie. You didn't like it as much as I did, but I enjoyed it. That was a good movie. But you know how like in horror movies it's very prevalent, but it'll be like the camera will come to rest on something and you'll be like, okay, that's important later.
That's going to be relevant after.
That's going to, for some reason, her wristbands are going to be important. That's not a spoiler for Bring Her Back at all. But like something like that, right? That's an example. And in this movie, like they do it a lot. Like in the very beginning, when you first rejoin Dave Franco and Woody Harrelson, who I don't think say another word to each other after the scene in the film directly, but that's a thing for another story. Like, they're throwing, Franco's teaching him to throw cards.
Yeah.
And he's teaching Franco to be a mentalist. but like they're throwing the cards, they're like whipping the cards,
Right.
and you can see them. You can see it as a viewer. And that's how they get the card out of the vault. And there's 7 people.
Oh my fucking God.
And there's 7 people standing around.
Oh my God.
And I know that Jesse Eisenberg like hits the gong, but like no one catches that at all. And it's like, do they not have security footage? Do they not have people on the security camera watching? It's so...
But the motion of a card is faster than light. Zippy zap zoop, Dave Franco,
well,
get it out
that's
of
exactly
here.
what they want you to...
Yeah.
That's how they want you to view it, right? But
yeah.
It's...
I hate what they want from me. They want too much from the audience, and I hate them for it.
This is how you know how I feel about the first film.
But the first one was like, oh, the possibility. And the second was like, fuck you, audience, you dumb piece of shit. You stupid ass. You thought you could understand.
They're both like that.
No. Oh, I've been betrayed and cheated.
I'm sorry to report, they both like that.
Fucking Eisenberg, little emo boy, bitch. Sorry. I just, yeah. Now you 3 me.
Also, like...
No fucking way! No way!
Let's talk about the plot. You want to talk about the plot?
Oh, I am so ready for this.
Okay.
Because there's so much plot in this film.
Yeah, and I kind of like copied and pasted it from Wikipedia, so
Perfect.
it might take me a while to kind of get through it. So after, I believe, I didn't realize this because I don't think it's really said in the film. So 18 months after the events of the first film, these 4 world-famous magicians are just hanging out in New York and no one recognizes them in any way, which is really fascinating. And they're just kind of waiting around. They want word from the Eye of Horus, what to do next, how to use their magic for good. And Mark Ruffalo, who is the ringleader of it all, he's like we're gonna frame this guy Owen Chase. He's like a CEO of a tech company, and you'll be surprised to know that Mark Ruffalo's character is still in the FBI,
which I'm bamboozled by.
The one of the great crimes, I think, of this film is its, I think, complete lack of understanding of the FBI in any way. Because later they're in London.
Well,
and I just don't believe that would happen.
The FBI actually stands for... What? I don't even have a clever London thing to say
Federal
here.
British Institute.
There you fucking go, my guy. That's it.
No, it is like... I mean, I guess technically they could operate in FBI, but maybe not at the scale.
It's for Brits, innit?
Can I just say, though, like, there's a point where the FBI is like chasing them, and they're driving in a van that says FBI on it. And it's like they're trying to do a semi-covert operation in a foreign country.
Well, I just love that they were like, oh, you thought the audience is dumb, but also FBI is dumb.
The FBI.
They're really dragging them.
You know what would have actually been a huge improvement? Mark Ruffalo not in the FBI anymore.
Yes.
The FBI not part of the movie at all.
Yeah, get the Interpol back.
They don't need to be chased by cops in this because they're already being chased by Michael Caine, as you learn later, and Harry Potter. So so he wants them to fuck over this guy Owen Chase, who's like, his phone is designed to harvest user data illegally. That's their whole thing. They're really making a stand against the tech companies. I'm sure Mark Zuckerberg was sweating bullets when he saw this in one of his private theaters in his house, when he's like, Priscilla, this movie really worries me.
He was actually one of the top commenters, like, can't believe they didn't call it
Congresswoman,
Now You Don't.
Now You See Me Too is a troubling film. Facebook is a place for connection, and the user data only helps me make another billion.
It's magical if you think about it that
Everyone
way.
wins.
Go on.
Congresswoman, what's really magic when you think about it is Facebook's ability to connect the world.
Make the world a smaller place.
To make the world one small, interconnected village.
Oh, God.
Of racists, Nazis, ignorant Midwestern white women.
Yeah, dude.
And I think that's magical.
I think that is magical.
Anyway, so
Mark, what are you doing here? Get out of here! Get out of here!
I don't want to see you.
Now you don't.
So they fuck up this guy's show. They hypnotize him. They do all the magics basically. Their whole 4 horsemen reveal themselves, being like, "Hey, I know you've seen me at your local coffee shop lately, but we're actually back and better than ever." And then when they escape, they're magically transported to Macau, Hong Kong.
Huh.
That was my reaction when I first saw this film, too.
At that point, I was like, all right.
So it turns out that Daniel Radcliffe, who was this tech giant's like former partner, he wanted to get back at him. He rigged this tunnel to hypnotize them, to knock them out, take them in a truck, fly them to Hong Kong. They're in Hong Kong now, and he wants them to steal this data card that can harvest all of the world's data. It doesn't even, like, quite honestly, the card itself, I'm like, you can't even stick it in a computer. It doesn't have a USB like plug, so I don't know how it does it, but it's in this like giant
it's also magically exactly the size of a deck of cards,
of a card,
of like a playing card.
Yeah.
Coincidence? I think not. I do say so myself.
How else will Woody Harrelson throw it through the detector?
Fuck, man.
So at first they're like, we're not going to do this, and then Jesse Eisenberg says, I like, whether this is true or not, it just feels like the dumbest line of all time. Jesse Eisenberg's like, yeah, we'll do it because the oldest magic shop in the world is in Hong Kong. He literally says that.
Of course.
And he's like, we'll get supplies from the magic shop because, you know, it'll help us do this thing. And then they literally don't use anything from the magic shop, if I'm not mistaken.
They make 2 friends.
Yes.
Who don't speak the language, so they're just like...
They a film directed by an Asian man surprisingly uses the mystical person of color trope quite widely.
It was just
the magical old Asian granny. Yeah. So they see a bunch of stuff in the magic shop, and then they go to the vault to steal this card. Again, I don't remember how they talk themselves into getting in there, but they're just like, we want to look at your big data cube. And the guy's like, yes, of course.
I'm just happy to see you.
Do I recognize you from somewhere? Are you not the most famous people of the past year? And they're like, absolutely here. I'm like, absolutely not. We're just a couple business.
I know. Somebody wake up Woody Harrelson, bro.
Give me that card.
Woody, it's acting time. Yeah. Oh, what? Me or my twin?
So the vault scene.
Okay.
It's one of the dumbest scenes on earth.
Look,
am I right about that?
I just want to say the whole premise rests on them retrieving the chip from the fucking computer
Dave
device.
Franco goes under the computer, which is
it's like 20 feet tall. It's like a alien silo. Never before seen.
It's the size of a room, and I don't know how they get the tech specs that it's like the chip will be underneath it. You can go underneath it. It's a little bit like a lot of things in poorly constructed blockbuster movies. It's like, wait, you were just relying on that very low chance that would happen.
Also, even if he had the exact blueprint, right? Let's give him the benefit of doubt. He knew exactly what to push to extract the card.
Hello, he's Dave Franco.
Right. Yeah. He's the fucking the slimy Pokemon of the fucking magic world. Yeah. He can get into crevices. So he retrieves the thing. What if it was like a Rubik's Cube? How you gonna pass that shit around in the room?
Yeah, how are they like? It's definitely gonna be the size of a playing card. Why is it so
conveniently?
It's very convenient, and that's before they start passing it between each other, which is, as I said, the dumbest scene on earth. It is so, and it's so long.
Look, I think that's my problem with it.
Yeah,
is that it's so long. It's passable. Even for like a 10-second scene where they just pass it from one hand to another.
It's got to be 2 minutes long. It's
Dude,
so
it felt
long.
So
it's interminable.
Long.
And like I said, a lot of it is fake. It's just not real.
Well, yeah.
And the like remember
when he slides it on the ground and she just walks and steps over it?
And it
Are you
sticks to her
fucking
and it
joking?
sticks to her shoe. Yeah.
You're joking.
like,
no one saw an object. So anyway. Yeah.
Remember how I said in the last episode, I know you do because you listen so deeply to everything that I say.
At all times.
Because you love me and you respect me as a person, right? Yeah. Right?
Yes.
What did I just say?
Wait, you were talking?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
You talking to me? What are you talking about over there? I said that movie, it doesn't operate on the rules of the universe. And this is one of those moments too where like the guy is like, all right, search these people. And the security guards, there's like 4 of them. They're like, they'll go to one of them and they'll like search their arm, and then they'll be like, all right, I'm gonna move on to the next person and search their arm. And like it's like they just, nothing happens.
Oh my God.
In a way that you're just like, no, they would just line them up and they would search them all one at a time. Like why is this so kinetic?
Think what's even more baffling at the end of the film and enraging about this scene now is that the main guy, who's the security guard head, is in on it with them. Why did he make them search them? Why did he stick these guards on these fucking magicians?
The thing is that they reveal him at the end to be part of the Eye, as if that explains anything, and then
he was no help at all.
Yeah, you're just like, at the end, you're just kind of like, that doesn't tell me fuck all about anything. Like you're like, it doesn't explain why. It's just it's such an absurd scene. I really insist that everyone watch it because it's so silly.
If you missed the entire film but just watch that scene,
it's so bad. Yeah,
give yourself that gift.
And I actually, there is one more scene in this that I hate even more than that scene, and we'll get to it. So they steal the card. Ruffalo, who's finally been kicked out of the FBI, catches up with them, and he takes the card from Eisenberg to help Eisenberg and the other 4 horsemen escape. He takes the card, which is supposed to be fake. Mm-hmm. It's not the real one. Then
they don't know at the time.
I don't know.
They're like, oh, we got the card.
I'm hanging on by a thread here. Ruffalo gets captured, and we reveal that Tressler, Harry Potter's dad, Michael Caine, I'll use their names. Michael Caine is Daniel Radcliffe's dad, and he's been, he is like 60 years older than he's been fucking. So he's been, yeah.
Every scene he gets the chance to be like, I have 10 children from 19 illegitimate.
He's been like, I bust raw. I don't ever use contraception. Yeah.
He used those words in a British accent.
He's really bragging about it.
I do bust it raw, don't I?
I do be busting it raw. He's like, oh, we're getting back at you for stealing all my money. Can we just pause here and talk about money for a second?
As a concept?
The horsemen gave away like all the money that they got in the last film, right?
Uh-huh.
So is the Eye, like, where do they get all this money to bankroll these huge works of magic?
I mean, if they're like,
where do they get the doves?
If they so easily can take money out of bank accounts and shit, who's to say the Eye doesn't have like trillions of dollars?
Right, but like who? But they don't know that the Eye is like super rich because they don't know it's the magical Chinese grandmother yet. And she's not selling a lot in the magic. Like, no offense to her, I don't think she's selling a lot of business. Like, she's moving a lot of product in the magical store. So they're like, who at this point, when they're fugitives, is bankrolling them?
I don't think their goal is to become rich by working for the Eye.
That's not my question. Who has them? Who gives the money now?
It's like it could be like Banksy. It could be an organization or just one guy. It could be like, we are the Eye. It could be me.
I know, but they're not part of it yet, and they need to stage these massive productions now.
It's it's theoretical. It's a vibe.
It's all okay. Cool.
Okay.
That explains everything.
Yeah.
So Michael Caine reappears. He talks to Dylan, Mark Ruffalo. He's like, "Oh, your dad died by drowning. I'm going to put you in the same safe in which you to drown or whatever." So he does that. Mark Ruffalo had previously been given his dad's old watch, I think by the magical Chinese grandma, and it has a little key in it, so he escapes from the safe. Then the 4 horsemen rescue him. Yeah, they kiss and they hug and stuff, and then they're like, now we got to do this final showdown in London, where with $0 we have to get there.
I have an answer for you who the Eye is. It's Jeff Bezos.
You're not hearing me.
Okay.
Because they're not really part of the Eye yet. Like the eye reveals itself at the end to be a bigger thing.
Right.
They're not part of that yet.
Oh, so who's bankrolling all those activities leading up to it?
Who's bankrolling just these 4 guys? That's what I'm asking. I don't need an answer because you don't have it, because it's not answered by the show. Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So the final showdown in London.
Yeah. Okay. So they go to London with 0 money.
Yeah.
As I just said. They did.
Bitcoin.
Maybe they gambled it all in Macau. Maybe they just all counted cards in Macau and they just gambled and got a bunch of money. I don't know.
This movie turns us into pro magicians at the end of this. Oh God.
And then in London they set off all of these. They do a magic show in 4 different places.
Mm-hmm.
All to but it's interrupted because they have to accelerate it. Something interrupts them, and then they're re-kidnapped again by Michael Caine and Harry Potter, and they're put on this private jet. On the jet, they give them the fake the disc thing, which they thought was fake, and they were trying to make him believe was real, but it turns out it's the real one. They throw them off the plane after they've got it. They're like, haha, I'll throw you off the plane. Then it turns out the entire plane is fake, and it's in the middle of the Thames. And it's revealed to the world on London on New Year's Eve, on this fateful night, that they're good again, and that they stopped Michael Caine and Daniel Radcliffe. And then they get accepted into the Eye by the Chinese lady and her son.
They're also in the Eye. And
Morgan Freeman, who you might have noticed, I haven't mentioned his name yet in this plot because a lot of his story is kind of pointless. Mm-hmm. But it turns out he's been the head of the Eye the whole time.
He's the Eye.
Which is a really,
CEO.
really contrived plot point. And he passes the torch on to Mark Ruffalo. Now, I just want to talk about the scene that I hate above all else. Maybe across 2 films, I hate this scene more than anything.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg in the rain.
In the rain.
I hate it so much.
Why?
It makes me uncomfortable to watch because I find it so cringeworthy.
Oh my God, really? I thought it was the best part of this film.
When he does the hand thing and it's like zipping up and down, and then there's like a Skrillex music drop right in the middle. It's so lame.
Hell yeah, that's why he's Scene Boy.
It's so lame.
Scene Boy Eisenberg. Give him a loose tie. Give him black pants. I love that shit. I wanted him to have a little mascara on.
I hate it so much.
Come on.
I hate it. I wish.
This is why no one's gonna bankroll you, man.
You don't know who bankrolls anyone. We've established. God damn it.
It's the nose and the mouth in the next films. They got the eye covered. Fuck, dude. And the one time they tripped me up in this movie with deception was when they throw him out of the plane. I thought they'd throw him out of a real plane for reals, but then magically they gave them parachutes and they would float into the middle of the Thames and be like, just kidding.
Yeah.
We're alive. But either way, it was fucking goofy as hell. And
it's still not
worse.
clear to me how they got the plane into the middle of the Thames. And it's not clear to me how...
how do they drive to the plane on the Thames?
Yeah, how they transport it somehow. And yeah, it's never... I couldn't follow. At that point, I was like, please let this end. I can't follow along.
Are they all hypnotized? That's the answer. Long and short of it.
I don't know. It's like you're never really given the pieces for yourself to really understand what's happening. It's just kind of like, oh, we're gonna blow your mind,
me.
And it's like, okay, and like when Woody Harrelson's twin brother bumps into that guy and he's like, hey, watch it, hobo. You're like, I know that's someone. I just don't know who. You're just like, I get it. I know that's a person, and that matters, or else they wouldn't have shown it. And you're like, it's. They keep harping on about where it's like, hey, watch carefully because every bit matters, every trick matters. So make sure that you watch it, blah, blah, blah. And you do as a viewer, like when the Chinese grandma gives Mark Ruffalo the watch, you're like, okay, but you can't know. There's nothing for you to go on. You're just like, okay,
my God.
I have bookmarked that little image in my head. So
also just like, what if he panics by being in a fucking safe underwater and doesn't think to check the time on his watch or whatever? Well, because I'm about to die.
What if they never throw him in a safe? What if they throw him in something else? Like what if they do
What if they
almost
shot him in the head?
What if they do the 99.9% of other things they could have
Oh
done
my
to
God.
nearly
That's
kill
because
the
they're
guy?
fucking magicians, dude. That's the point. They're like, oh, we're going to be so fucking emo and predictable.
but
We're
it's
going to
like-
send the son home the way the father did.
But it is like it's there's so many things where you're just relying on this massive coincidence to happen.
It's all hubris.
Oh my God, babe, are they using the hubris of the tech magnates against themselves?
I hate everything.
Is that what you're saying?
I hate it so much. And yes,
But babe, is that what you're saying?
that's what 1,000%.
All right, but who bankrolls them?
It's Mr. Hubris.
Mr. Hubris himself.
That's what I meant the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. In maddening film. Just also best consumed in a large gathering. Like watch it with as many people as you can.
You don't want to put people through that.
No. People who enjoy cinema like I do. You want to get like-minded individuals.
I'm sorry, but I don't count either of us in that group.
Speak for yourself.
I've seen these two films multiple times now, and I don't think I think you get your cinephile card taken away if you've done that. Yeah. They barge into your house and they steal it, and they steal all your fucking Jean-Luc Godard DVDs.
I am officially cinephobe as of today. Having seen these partaking in this movie.
Because frankly, now that I watch new movies, I'm like, do you have the capacity to hurt me the way Now You See Me did?
Oh, in so many ways, I feel violated.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for this. I just want to reiterate that these two films were the reason that we wanted to do this podcast in the first place.
And I mean, I mean, they exemplify exactly what we're talking about.
And I had never seen this movie before.
Yeah, which
we've talked about.
We already talked. We discussed
in great detail
we
before
discussed
as well.
your indiscretions with your honesty problem.
Hey, what the hell?
We discussed that.
Look,
in the
it would
previous
be
episode.
impossible to lie about watching a movie like this. This would stay in your mind.
I just thought you were a different person. And then I learned that you hadn't suffered the way I'd suffered in life. You know,
that's
like
true.
sometimes you get in relationships and like one person has been through a trauma, and,
like having watched
and
Now You See
another
Me.
person is there to kind of like help them. But it's like
It's true.
I
My
thought,
privilege is showing.
yeah, exactly. I thought you would have some modicum of like.
No.
It's like I can empathize with you, John.
Nuh-uh.
But really, you were just like, I've seen The Accountant, which you haven't actually.
Which I'm consuming The Accountant in an episodic fashion.
I mean, we consume this film in an episodic fashion, which is probably how
which
it's
is the right
best
way
done.
to do
Yeah.
it, man. It's a lot in one sitting. It's also quite long.
It's over 2 hours, which is
Fuck
absurd.
me,
Yeah.
that's too much.
It's
Now to see me much.
wow. You really-
We'll cut that out.
Nope, I'm gonna keep that in.
Damn.
It's crazy, although it's not crazy. So I saw Crazy Rich Asians before I saw this movie. So I saw Crazy Rich Asians in theaters, and we all know how well that went for me personally.
You cried a lot.
I cried a lot. I cried when it started. I cried in the middle. I cried when I saw Aquafina, and then I cried at the end when the mom and the new daughter,
They do magic.
they stick fingers in each other's mouths after playing mahjong.
Oh, right.
Which is a beautiful scene. Crazy Rich Asians. It's just so crazy how rich the Asians are. Like John M2 makes that movie, which I think is like a movie I dislike that is like well made, and then he's like makes Wicked this year. This movie is so much worse than those. Like Crazy Rich Asians is. I would rather watch that than this. I've still never seen Wicked, but I'm nominated for Best Picture, so you know.
I mean, it's there's material to go off of for Wicked.
Well, but you know what's so wild about this, which I just find baffling, which we haven't talked about. Both of these movies are written by Ed Solomon, who is like he's most well known for writing Men in Black.
Oh,
But he also wrote, like recently we watched that Full Circle show with Steven Soderbergh. He wrote that.
Oh shit.
He's a very famous Hollywood writer, and obviously some people have to make money. I get, but I'm like, but these movies, I'm just kind of like, I'm just very baffled. It's very strange. Like, I'm not saying like Ed Solomon has only ever written good things, but it is like every time I think of that, I'm like, he might be the most prestigious part of the film.
Shit.
And you're just kind of like, wow.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was trouble when Common didn't show up in the second one.
Yeah. I mean,
when Oscar Award winner Common.
What did he win an Oscar for?
It'll come to me.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Wait.
It'll come to me, my favorite film of the 2000s.
I will get you an answer. Hold on. Oh, best original song from Glory.
What? Glory?
Yeah. Glory, 2015.
Glory. What is that?
Oh.
I thought that was that Ed Zwick movie about the Civil War.
1 second. Okay, goddammit. Common, formerly known as Common Sense. Grammy, Academy Award, Primetime Emmy, and a Golden Globe Award. Won them all.
Yeah, I know, but what's Glory?
I can't read that fast.
Just click the film.
It doesn't say. 1 second.
This is like what?
Sorry. The song is called Glory. It's from Selma.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And which Marvel hero is Selma?
Shush.
Is that part of the Captain America franchise?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see Selma? I never saw Selma.
No.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I won't either, for that matter. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why this movie blows.
I mean, Common is a good actor. He was not. They didn't need him in the last film to play that part, I guess, when he had showed some common sense by being like, no thanks. All right, good night, everyone.
And just like that. She went about her ways.
Now you see me. So we're not going to see Now You See Me, Now You Don't, obviously.
Yeah.
How do you think it'll be? Do you think, the first film got 51 on RT. This one got 34. Oh,
rightfully so. Yeah.
Are we higher, middle, or lower?
I think higher. Higher. It has to go higher than this film.
I think it's going to be in between the two.
I don't think it can top the first.
I think it'll be in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safe bet.
Ruben Fleischer's never let me down in that regard.
Maybe Hermione's in this film.
No. Actually, she's not.
All right, back to 20%.
Most of the cast is already has been set.
Do you already know?
I know everyone's returning except for
Lulu.
No. Kaplan's returning. Ruffalo, there's been no promotion for Ruffalo, but it's confirmed he's in it. Mm-hmm. Also, there's been no promotion for Michael Caine, but there's suspicion he's in it too. I don't know if Morgan Freeman is in it. I think he's retired.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Dominic Sessa from that fucking the school the good school fucking movie that came out last year or the year before. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Where he's at school. And,
the holdovers.
And then the teacher's like, hey, you're at school. And then he's like, I love you, Dad.
He looks like, not to fucking diss, but he looks like a magician.
He does.
Yeah.
He probably knows how to do magic.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple other youngins who are coming up. Yeah.
It feels like a diss now. You look like you do magic,
bro.
Dominic.
You look like a fucking magician. Yeah. That is really mean. Sorry, Dominic, but you look like a fucking.
No, he's a handsome young man. Good for you.
He's got real Hufflepuff energy. All right, that's I can't vamp anymore about this movie.
And that's that.
And just like that. Thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah.
You can get back to watching The Accountant. I can get back to living my life
and without magic.
Never watching these films again.
Until the third. Now you three me.
Bye. The magic of Facebook is.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's actually in the. All right,
Security,
bye.
get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Goodbye.